Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Church in Eugene, Unitarian Universalist Church in Eugene. Hello, Zoom friends. We're glad you're with us today. My name is Joanna Alexander. My pronouns she, her. For visual, I'm wearing blue. My blouse might be called cerulean, and a beautiful stole that Heidi has made us for the worship associates. And I'm your morning's worship associate. All the information you need to know about today's service can be found in our handy guide to Sunday worship. If you're like to have one, the greeters could bring you one. Raise your hand if you'd like a handy guide. Otherwise, you have at least the words to the songs and other information on this sheet today. Anybody needing one? No. Okay. And Zoom friends, the tech team will drop a copy of the order of service and a visitor form in chat. Today is our annual ritual of remembrance, a day that aligns with other cultural and religious traditions that fall at this time of year. This season invites us not only to remember loved ones who have died, but also to face death, even to welcome it as a natural, though sometimes painful, part of life. Later, you'll have a chance to bring up your photos and just say the names of the ones you would like to celebrate. Zoom friends can share those memories using chat. And if you want to speak, raise your hand or send a chat to Kat Johnson. For now, let's prepare our hearts and minds for a time of worship by lighting the flaming chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Medley will be lighting the chalice as I share these words from Florence Caplow. As we kindle this flame, we honor and remember those who have passed into the mystery. Their brightness lives on in our vision. Their courage lives on in our commitments, and their love continues to bless the world through us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jen Youngsun, and I am the minister serving this wonderful congregation. I love worshiping in the round. I love seeing all of you, and I love that you get a chance to see each other. And I love the chance for us to put in the center of our attention, the center of our worship, that which is most important to us today. And today, that would be the memory of our loved ones whom we have cherished in life and remember in their death. Today, I want to especially welcome folks who may have not been here for very long. Maybe you're brand new today. Maybe you have been here for a while but just haven't had a chance to meet people. And I want to give you an opportunity to raise your hand and say your name if you feel like, hey, I want to be known. I want people to know me. If you want to raise your hand and say, this is my name, I would like to be known here. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Willow. This is my first time here. Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Hello, my name is Pete, and I've been coming here for about 6 weeks or so.
My name is Judy, and I think this is my third time here, and I love it.
Thank you, Judy. We're glad to have you. Hi.
I'm Ellen Rose, and I have been coming for a very short time, but I was away for a while, and now I'm back. And I'm actually going to ask just for prayers. My cousin's son, who was 4, passed away a week ago.
Hello, good morning. What's your name?
My name's Heather Fox, and I've been coming for a few months off and on, and I also love this community. Thanks for being here.
We have more people who want to say hello.
My name is Betty Rutherford, and I've been coming for 94 years. And I would like to know you. Everyone's left me, but I saw a lot of new people, and I'd like to know who you are.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Mehrma. Mehrma in Persian means moon and sun. Thank you.
I'm Corla Bertrand. This is my second time to a service, and the first time as a Eugene resident. Woohoo!
All right. Welcome, welcome. We've got more people who want to say hi. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Coey. This is my first time trying it out here, so nice to meet all y'all.
Hi, my name is Maureen. I love this church. And I've loved the idea of a Unitarian church starting in California and still coming here. So I'd love to know all of you.
Hi, I'm Jim. Maureen and I are new members, and we just need to get to know people, and that's why we're here.
And there are more.
Good morning, my name's Elizabeth, and I've been attending services for a few months since I moved to Eugene.
I'm Nisco, and I've been coming for over 20 years, and I love this community.
And you want to get to know some more people, Nisco?
Hi, I'm Kim. This is my 4th time, and it's been such a sweet part of my week, so thank you all.
Hey, Kim. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Dawn, and I'm visiting my family here in Eugene today, first visit. This is my son and my daughter-in-law.
Okay, and we've got another.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm new to Eugene, and this is my first time visiting.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Esther. I'm from Virginia. I heard somebody say y'all over there. Anyway, I'm new to Eugene as well. I was a UU in Virginia.
Me too. I was a UU in Virginia, Williamsburg. Yes.
Hi, my name is Stan Coleman, and I've been coming here for about a year, off and on. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Carrolley, and I used to be a member back in the 1990s, and I'm back once in a while now.
Wonderful. Welcome back. Nice to see you all. Hi, good morning. What's your name?
I'm Addison. This is my second service here.
Yes, great to see you, Addison. You know what? You're all surprising me because I thought, oh, this group is shy, and they're really only going to be 1 or 2 people. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Sure.
I was waving to you. Hi, I'm Deb, and I'm a UU transplant. I was at UU in DC. Happy to be here.
Nice, thank you. Well, I'm so glad that all of you have come to join us for this very special worship service. Today is our ritual of remembrance, and this celebration, ceremony, remembrance ritual comes at a time when a lot of different cultures and religious traditions set aside time to consider death, the meaning of death in our lives, and also to remember loved ones who have passed away. There's Halloween, Samhain, there's Dia de los Muertos, All Souls, All Saints. This year, Diwali falls in the same time. It doesn't always, but it just reminds us that we are at the end of the harvest season, right? We are in the midpoint between autumn equinox and winter solstice. We are entering a time of deep, deep darkness. And many people believe that the veil between the living and the dead is very thin, permeable. And if we listen very deeply, we may hear their voices calling to us. We may hear them speaking to us, offering solace and comfort, maybe offering some advice. Later on today, I'm going to invite you, if you haven't already, to come up and place an object or a photo on the altar. I also have a bowl of water and some salt. And we've got pieces of paper and markers so you can write names if you didn't bring any objects. But for now, I'd like to start by lifting up the names of the members of this religious community who have died since our last ritual of remembrance. We remember them. Susie Brown, Kitty Carlisle, Kathleen Dillon, Ruth Demler, Jim Goes, Melinda Johns, Kathy Rex, Bill Rogers, Lacey Sanders, Fred Schultz, Karen Seidel, Laura Stevenson. Let me make one announcement first. I want to talk to our Zoom friends. There's a closing reading that I would like to share with everyone, and I'm wondering if there are 5 Zoom friends who would be willing to volunteer to speak, to be promoted and unmuted, and speak the 5 stanzas of the closing poem. If you are willing to do that, just let Kat know with a raised hand or by chatting with her. This will come at the end of the service.
What I'm going to say are words adapted from a poem of Birago Diop, a Senegalese storyteller and poet who also was a veterinarian who went into the bush to care for animals there, which sort of I hadn't known, even though I was a scholar of French literature, and he's a francophone writing in French. The poem Breaths. And it was became familiar to me when I was in a choral group and we sang the version by Sweet Honey in the Rock, which at the end, our hymnal has this version, and we'll be singing it at the end. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestor's breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestor's breath in the voice of the water. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the groaning woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's breast. They are in the wailing child. They are with us in our homes. They are with us in this crowd. The dead have a pact with the living. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water.
If you haven't had a chance to bring your photos or objects, you can do that now. I also have some paper here, and you can write the names or draw a picture of your loved ones as well. There's also a small bowl of salt, and you can take that salt and sprinkle it into the water as a ritual element, symbolic perhaps of your tears, symbolic of the knowledge that even though the salt is dissolved and you can't see it any longer, the saltiness is still there, right? And even though we can't hold our loved ones, we can't hold their hands and we can't see their faces any longer, but we can still taste and remember the flavor of them in our lives. So as you are willing and able, come on up. If you need a little extra time or help, just raise your hand and we will help each other, right? Because some people move at different speeds. So come on up. I'm going to start with our Zoom friends and ask if you want to just type in a name of someone you want to remember today, then maybe Kat can read off the names, yes? And then while the Zoom friends are collecting the names, I'll also ask if you want to lift up a name. You can do that. I'll come with a microphone. Is there a name that you are remembering today?
I would like to remember my Uncle Mike. He just passed this last weekend.
Uncle Mike.
Denise Hill. Thomas Ray Brown.
Gwen Meyer.
Ruth Brown. All my exceptional teachers, including my wonderful musical mother. Roscoe Hollingsworth.
Jack Turner.
Vigo and Lisi.
Anna Gilliland. Hugh Cole III.
Phil Ryder, who died in 2011, and Andy Ryder, who died last year.
My mother, Edith Hilton. Jonathan Brown.
My parents, Frank and Lila.
Jim Ellison. Melinda Johns, Ann Pasco. Bob Dritz.
My Aunt Mary Washburn.
Tom Colgren.
Eileen Amen 80.
Hallelujah.
Paulette and Ganson Taggart.
My parents, Clella May and Richard, my friend Jean, and my cat Sasha Dora.
Greg Ellison.
Mark Murphy, my ex-husband of 12 years. My dad, John Relly.
Flora and Clyde Martin, Melissa and Robert Dixon.
My parents, Carl and Idella Peterson.
CW2 James Dale Kennemer. Mary Barish.
My buddy boy.
Ruth Ross.
My daughter, Mariah.
Myron Dara.
Charlie Hirsch, who was a member here for years, died 3 years ago now.
Chris Hohenmeiser. I think I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. Jim and Kathy. Fred and Libby Massery.
My mother, Patricia Durden. My former partner of 10 years, Deb Morrow.
My beloved wife, Lacey Sanders.
I'm thinking a lot about my family, Ennis and Hoyt, Patty and Dean, and then also my dad, Rick.
My mother, Jerry Bates.
My parents, Jake and Anna Margaret.
My mom and dad, Margaret and Pat Mayer.
My son, Jordy.
My grandma who raised me, Edna Wilcox.
Jennifer and Francis Brown.
My past husband, Zachary Zakan.
Zeekliv Newland.
My coming of age, sponsee Emma Casey, who committed suicide at age 15.
My niece, Laurel Milne.
My owl teacher, Pat Tangeman, also Kuma, Gizmo, and Carl.
We remember them. They were furry friends. They were family members. They were human friends. They were lovers. They were children. They were young. They were old. They died after long illnesses, giving them time to prepare, and they died suddenly. We remember them. It is good and right to set aside time and space for this. It is good and right to mourn, which is the collective form of grieving. Grieving can be very private, but when we come together to cry, when we come together to lift up names and tell stories, that is a community mourning together, and this is a good and right thing to do. And so we remember them with love, and we hear their advice as well. We learn from them. Some of us were fortunate enough to maybe be present at their death and in their dying, and we were able to learn something. We were able to have a peek at some of the mystery of life. What have you learned from death that helps you in life? What have you learned? What are you learning now about life?
Embrace the now, because you never know when it won't be anymore.
Don't wait. Embrace the now. Don't take it for granted, right? All of this life, all of our days.
My best friend died when she was 32. And she told me, Dwayne, you can always get more money, but you will never get more time. And I've lived by that.
And Kat, if there are any people on Zoom who have some wisdom to share, you'll let us know? Okay. What have you learned?
I think I've learned over the last few years that there really isn't anything to be afraid of when it comes time to die.
Thank you. There really is nothing to be afraid of.
I'm a UU that believes in heaven, and so I'll get to see my parents and Kathleen daily.
Yes. One of my favorite things about being part of a church community is that it's an intergenerational community, and so we're at different points in life. Some of us don't spend any time thinking about death because it seems so far into the future, and some of us are much, much closer and think about it a lot, right?
What I have learned in life, in my 61 years, with death of people that I've loved and that have loved me, and with me experiencing a near-death experience in my life, is to be mindful of what we say and do and how it affects others. And I think if we do that, then we are all blessed.
And from Zoom, we have Corey Taggart says, how precious life is and how natural death is. And Marge Cole shares that the spirits of our loved ones remain with us.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We take time to speak their names. We take time to repeat the stories. We tell new friends about them if they don't know who they are. Then they stay alive for us. What have you learned? Was there another one, Kat?
Yeah, one more. Deb Huntley shares that forms die, spirit does not.
I had a friend who is a hospice nurse, and she said she never once heard someone say on their deathbed they wish they had spent more time working.
Yes, if I had just gotten that report done, then my life would have been complete. And thank you, Deb, for naming that we all have taken this temporary human form, right? This is a temporary form, and this form was made to fall away. And yet, just as a wave rises out of a sea, it does go back to the sea, right? And so there is a large sea holding us all.
I have to say, I often hear a lot of humor. And the message I get is, lighten up, we all take it too seriously.
Does anybody know any good death jokes?
I don't know if I can top that, but to me, death is very connected to life. I'm a composter, And so I really appreciate death, and that through death comes living.
And there are so many other types of death, right? It's not just death of people, not just death of pets, but we experience all kinds of small and large deaths throughout life. The death of our abilities, the death of our sense of self, the death of what we expected to happen in the world, and then, are confronted with the reality of what is happening. Lots and lots of deaths. Yes, Betty?
In the words of my past husband, when we were in a crisis in our country in the long past, his words were, "Patience hell, I want to kill somebody."
We learned last week that Marge Kite passed away, and she was an interim minister here for some time, and she and her husband Fred married the two of us.
I had not heard that. Marge Kipe, the Reverend Marge Kipe.
I have this thing about FOMO, fear of missing out, and I used to have this real dread about when I would die, I would miss out on the life of my children and different things. And I had this experience that I learned, or I feel like I believe now, that somehow, I don't know how it works, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think I'm going to miss out. And that those who've gone before me, they're here with me, and they're not missing out either.
Thank you. What have you learned from people who have died?
Well, I'm an RN, and I've been at the bedside of many people that have died. Some of them I knew fairly well, but there's this moment when they take their last breath, and then I find myself taking in a big, deep breath, and I think they become a part of me. So I'm not just one. I'm probably like 100 people in here.
If you would like to continue this conversation, Ryan Doppelmayr is hosting a death cafe today at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I don't think people are reluctant to talk about death, but I think there just are not a lot of spaces held and opportunities to talk about it. So there will be a death cafe today, this afternoon, and there's going to be another one in May. So we'll have opportunities to talk more. I hope that you have had a chance to get to know each other a little bit better today. So thank you for sharing your stories. Kat, were there any more online?
That was it. Well, Leslie Ann Rex shared that Monty Python's Eric Idle's song, "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," is the most popular song sung at funerals.
Thank you, Leslie, for that bit of humor. And were we able to find 5 volunteers on Zoom?
We were.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the 5 volunteers if you would just go in order. There are 5 stanzas, and I believe that they're numbered for you.
They have it. They're all ready to go.
Okay, let's...
Starting with Wendy.
Let's have our closing words then.
They once dwelled among us, the people of memory. They who knew us, they who taught us, they who hurt us, they who loved us.
They touch our lives time and again through their presence and their absence, through familiar scents and favorite songs, through old stories and renewed sorrow.
I apologize. As the earth turns and leaves fall, we reach back to renew the bonds between us. With hearts and hands open, we hold on to love ever stronger than death.
We reach back in gratitude and understanding.
Without our time together, the pain and the joy, we would never be who we are today. We would have little to pass on ourselves.
Without fear, with thanksgiving, and with hope for all that awaits, we remember those who have gone before. We honor the circle of life and death and our place within this sacred thread.
I will extinguish the flame, but certainly not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Friends, we have called out the names, we have remembered, and we have loved deeply. We have faced death, and now go live your life. Go in peace, my friends. Go in love.